did get a new grass cutter, John Deere grass cutter, and I got to thinking, which one would be better, more bang, which one can we get more bang for our buck out of? And you see I've got me a baler here, and I've bought field 1 on Ravensport. It's ready to harvest grass-wise. Cutters that I'm going to be testing, of course, the in-game one, the big Chrome, big M. We know, and the specs on it. Let me read them to you. It has 449 horsepower, and it actually covers about 33 feet, $284,350, and it's 30 slots. If you're on console, it is 30 slots. Of the 3, it's the highest slot count. I take that back. I started to say it was, but it isn't. It's the second highest. Now, the next one is the John Deere 2280 diesel, the old school, and it is only 80 horsepower, and it costs only $45,000. Excuse me, $15,000, and it's only 15 slots, and it cuts 15 feet. That one swipe is 15 feet. And it's only 15 slots. And the last one that we're going to test is the one that came out today, the new one, the newer one, the John Deere, what is it? W235. Now, it is 200. I got it on 235 horsepower. Howbeit, if you look in, and I'll show you, I haven't modified any of these mowers that would give them an edge. You can't modify that one, and then this one you can modify. You can't modify, I don't believe, you can't modify the engine on it. It's 80. And then this one, of course, you could modify the engine to get 260 horsepower, but I've got it W235. So, to be fair, everything, and I didn't even put the extra, there's an extra step you can put on the bottom of this too, by the way. I just wanted to see, I'm going to see, and I will tell you this, I know for a fact I've already driven this one, and I've driven all 3 of these. This one right here, the W235, it does fast farm. This one does not, unless it does. Unless I will try it. They have updated it recently, so I know they maybe added that to that one. We'll see. And I know this big M does. So, but I'm not gonna. The only one I may try fast farming is this one here, because I don't know that it does to begin with, so I don't remember. So I'll have to test it to see. But we'll get to that. But what I'm going to do is and this is the in-game baler. Now, this is a modded tractor, but it's an old school tractor, but I like it. And I'm just going to bale and see which slough this baler picks up the best. And that'll tell us. Now, on paper, this Chrome, even though it's 30 slots, it cuts the widest path, so quite naturally, oh, that's the best one. Well, maybe not. I happen to know that this one, the windrow slough that it puts down, some of the balers struggle to get it all. In fact, quite a few of them. In fact, I'll show you which one. I'll show you one that I know for sure does, that I like to use, and on some other saves, this one right here. And you see the pickup on it is not very narrow, but for whatever reason, when I bale the slough, use this to bale the slough from the big M, it struggles. I mean, it struggles. That Cleveland struggles to pick it all up. It leaves some. So, in a big field, you want one. And I will tell you what I found out about this one this morning. It doesn't leave a very tight sloth. You'll see in just a few minutes. This one leaves a little bit tighter, and this one is a bigger. It's not tight, but it's bigger around because quite obviously it's cutting a bigger area. So we're going to see which one is better. Anyway, without any further ado, let's get into Big M and get started with this test here. We will cut and take a look at the windrows, and then we will start baling them. Now, this one will fast farm, but I'm not going to. I'm going to start right here and just turn it on. Already got it set on what I need to. Now, this one's set to cruise, because this one, this one, I'm going to go all the way across the field. Now, let's take a look. See this windrow? We'll look at them more in detail in a few minutes. I'll go back to the other end, and we'll look at all three of them when we've cut. Oh, there we go. Now, the next one, I'm going to cut. I'm going to move over and cut right next to this one. And just off the bat, I'm going to see, I'm going to set this one, it's already sitting on the ground. I'm going to turn it on. And I'm going to try and see if it will fast farm. And it will not. It only goes 10 miles an hour. The Chrome went 15 normal speed. So, and this windrow looks real similar to the Chrome one. This one does not fast farm, but I know the Chrome one does, and that newer John Deere one does. Now, quite obviously, that Chrome one right there cuts a wider path. So, next up, now look at the difference. You see how big that windrow is. You're going to see something totally different. This is a completely different type of lighting system. Right about here. See? That there, cutting width wise, this one and the old school one, really close. This one's 14.4 feet, and I think the old school one that I just finished with is 15.1. So they're cutting widths are close to the same. But this one does fast farm. If you right now though, it's doing the same speed, normal speed that the Chrome 15. So, now let's get out and look at these three. Look how that spread out that is. It's not as tight as this, and definitely not as bunch. There's a lot more in this because this was a wider cut sloth. You see how much wider it was compared to these two. But in a big field, when you have a couple of these side by side, it's going to take you a long, just like it will these. I like this because you don't. There won't be as many in a field. It's going to take longer with that what a baler does, as we'll find out here in just a minute. Turn the lights on. Come over here. I'll start with. I'm only going to go part of the way and turn around and come back down. I'm going to do one bale. Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'll take and fold the bale. The other one to pick up. Now this is the chrome. And it's picking it up pretty good, this baler is. And this is the end game. New hauling round baler. Oops, there's some right there, see? She's pulling all that bump. Now let's go back and start the next one now. So we missed one spot on that one. That was the chrome. Now we need the old school John Deere windrower, grass cutter. And we'll see if we get further on these than we do. We're going to definitely get further because I'm nowhere near close full on this one. You see? That's because that's a heavier windrow. But it's not missing any here. Load that there. So you see how much further we were able to get? That's because this first one, even though it cuts a wider sloth, you're going, especially with a round baler, you're going to be stopping more often. And that's exactly why. Now, I want to do it with a round baler and not a square baler. You don't have to stop a square baler. Now let's see what this wide one does. See if we can even, how well it picks this up. But I will tell you this, with a sloth this wide, when you have two side by side, they're gonna, and I'll show you what I'm talking about before I do this. Let me come up here to where these are, and I'm gonna turn this end one here around, and I'm gonna go right up the side and show you what I'm talking about, just a piece. Just to show you what I'm talking about. Line up here, and it's going to look. Let's get out and take a look. See what I mean? I mean, it's not, well, it's actually, folks, I was wrong. It actually is putting space between them. So it is more of a windrow than just a wide sloth. Wow. Okay. So let's see how far we get. Let's go back to the tractor now. see how far we get. Can we go the same distance on this slot that we did on the tighter, smaller windrow? Oh, what was that mean? It's going to be about the same, folks. That missed me. In fact, it's a little bit further. Huh. Wow. Impressive. Impressive. So now actually got a little bit further. You see where this one stopped and that one stopped right there. Let me move the tractor right there so we can really see that. So actually, the middle one got a little further. I don't know how much further you would call that, but I would say that's about even. Here's why. That's not going to be enough to get another bale, I wouldn't think. It ain't, nah. So, not even a half a bale. So, it's probably, I don't even know if it's a ton. It might be a half a ton, 500, something like that. Anyway, so these two are about even. That means the two John Deeres are pretty close, except for this John Deere, like I said, is 44 slots and $150,000, and this one is with the head. Now remember, the head is separate on this one, where on the new one that came out today is all in one. The 44 slots is all, everything, drivable part and all. And this head does not detach at all, where this one does, which means you have to service two parts instead of one. Now, and this one doesn't fast farm. And like we said, see, it actually is a windrow. It does separate. So I thought maybe it would put it together, but it doesn't. I was mistaken about that. That's a shock. But I'll be honest with you, depending on the map you're on, like, let me show you. This map right here, you started out with 500. I started on Farm Manager. You start out with about 500 something slots. You know, that you might could do, and I leased that one because I ran out of money. I had to buy the land and everything else and pay off the loan. But if you got a map where you got low slot count, then this would be a good windrower, no doubt about it. If not, then your choice. If you're on a big map, obviously Krone is the hands down choice. You see that baler didn't miss much. The difference is, you see, because this is a much thicker windrow, you're gonna be stopping more often. You're not gonna get as, look where we are here, and let me get up here, and you turn, and let me turn and see right here where we're at, and way up yonder is where, that's the difference in doing. People really don't think it's a difference, and it is. See how much further in the field you got? It's more than twice from them bales, two bales here back there to where that other one is. It's twice the length, almost. I mean, it's a long. What I might do, we know that's where one bale started. Let's see how many bales it's gonna make. That's what I'm gonna do right quick, folks. This will give you an idea. Let me and bring that other line up and see, just to see. because of that thicker windrow. It doesn't mean you're gonna. Let's just say the field you're doing, you know, in fact, if it's fully fertilized, anything, whatever, it nets you, let's say, 36 bales. But instead of using that chrome, you're using, or instead of you, and you use that older John Deere one and got 36 bales out of what you'd still get 36 with this chrome. It's just going to take. You're going to bale them faster. I mean, more drop a bale more frequently. And let's see how many bales it's going to take for this thing to get up there where it goes to. Probably one more bale. Looks about, yep, well, at least one. Maybe another bale and a half. One half bale. So there's two. Oh, ain't gonna pick up nothing if I don't close the door, will it? Oh, let me pull this on. So you see, I'm up 1.5 ton. So, and it's about even with them. So, yeah, 2 bales to 1, which means because it's cut and there's a little bit I left. See, that's the difference. You see what I'm talking about? And that's on that windrow, see? Because it's a thicker, wider windrow. You're going to have spot. Yep, that's what I'm saying. That's why I don't like the chrome. Because it's actually, yeah, you can get more bales that away. I mean, not more, but you drop more bales because it's thicker. I would rather use one of these two ones here because the windrows is thin enough. I mean, you're not going to miss it, and it's going to get you further out in the field. Where this chrome, you can get it done faster because you bigger swipe, but you're not going to bale as fast. It's going to take you longer baling. The one I like the best, slot-wise, that you'll always be good with slot-wise, is this one right here. And it's not necessarily that it's old school. It's just that I like that particular windrower. It reminds me, if they ever do get the Massive Ferguson Classic Pack out, my favorite grass cutting windrower is in it. It looks a lot like this, but it's a lot better. It's a lot better. It's a lot better windrower. And they had it on 17 in that Classic Pack, and I'm hoping they're gonna get it out here on 19, if not on 22, by the time it comes out, because there's a lot of good stuff in that pack. Trust me. And this one's real nice looking, but the cutting deck here is different. See, it's not got the spindle wheel like a grain table like this one. This is old school here. And then you got just a straight mower here that's you can leave a wide swath, or you can. And if I was going to use this and wanted to use like that baler I'm using, I would probably. Here's what I would do. I would cut this in a wide swath, and then come with. Let me show you what I would use. Another mod that I like to use. Oops, it's not under here. It's on the windrowers. And then come with, where is it? There it is. This thing, because you can put a hitch on the back. It's already got it. See? And you can hook any baler you want behind it, and you can windrow and bale at the same time in one pass. And that particular, let me go back to windrower. What's the width on it? It's a good size. 8.5 meters, which if you do the math and do the... So 8.5 times 3.37 equals 28.6 feet. So 28.5 feet, almost 29 feet, that thing windrows. And folks, just for your information, a meter is 3.37 feet. 3 foot 37 inches. That's what a meter is. You take that number and like that's 8.5, you say that 8.5 times 3.35 and it'll give you 28.5 feet. You round up, then I think it's 28.6 to be more precise, but I'll do it again. 37 times 8.5. It's 28.645, so it's closer to 29 than it is 28. So it's just under. That's just under 30 foot. I'll be pulling that behind a tractor with, like I said, with my favorite baler, which is, well, actually, I have two. When I'm wrapping, this is my favorite baler, that Cleveland. But if I'm just baling, these two right here, especially this round one, wow. I mean, the texture of the bales when they come out of these balers, wow. These are in that straw harvest pack, DLC. They are they look so realistic. I would have used it on this test, but I didn't want to use any modded baler to make the bales. You know, I wanted to use all in-game stuff as much as I could, so because those are the ones that have the smallest pickups on them, and I didn't want to use one that had a wider, maybe a little bit wider pickup. I wanted to get a true test here. But so 2 bales on this row, 2 and, well, about a quarter, 1 point, what was it? 1 ton. Yeah, so on this game, a ton is 1,000 pounds, so 1,759, almost 2 tons. So a bale is 4 tons, so almost not quite a half a bale in there. No. So got it up even with where these two is. See, that tells you how much thicker those and bulkier these chrome windrows are. But as far as cutting, yeah, this chrome mower is the deal, because you can fast farm and it will go 20 whatever. What is this? Let me show you. Whatever the max speed on this thing is that it says, it's 24. You can go 24 mile an hour cutting in the field, and then the one I've leased here, this one will go 21 mile an hour. That's the advantage, if you will, of that chrome one and this newer John Deere one that came out today, is that they do, which is not realistic, to be honest with you, they do fast farm. This one does not, just old school. But I just like it. It turns good. And it ain't necessarily because it's old school. I just like it. That's all I can say. You actually can put skinnier wheels on the front of this and it'll make it roll even better. You can't, I don't know if you can do that with this one. I know you can't with the chrome. The chrome, the way it is the way it is. Yeah, horsepower and all. Now, it's out of the 3, it has the most horsepower at 449. But this one and the chrome, normal speed go 15 mile an hour through the field. This one's 10. So, which one is better? The true answer to that would be whichever one you feel is going to be right for you in the field you're doing and what kind of slot count you have. Then you make the decision which one is right. But I hope this video has kind of given you an idea the differences between the 3. And like I said, I'm impressed with this one, very much so, because but the slot count, and on a lot of the John Deere stuff, this is one exception. This one of the rare exceptions. This old school thing here, cutter. It's it's only, like I said, a total of 15 slots, where this one is 44. Most of the newer John Deere stuff is that. Why? I don't know if it's because of the name. This one here is 30 slots, but you know, it does put it in a pretty nice tight windrow. If you can find a baler, and I be honest with you, I haven't found one that has a wide enough excuse me a minute, folks. I just got a brain went dead on me. A wide enough pickup to get it without missing something. I mean, I've used just about every type of baler, square and round, and none of them have been flawless through this. They all leak because it's such a thick, bulky windrow. It's tight, but it's thick and bulky. That's why you got two bales back there to get it to where these other one were. The other two ones here were. It took two bales because that's how much thicker that windrow is compared to. And when you stop and think about it, if you're going to be in a big field, here's the way I look at it. You're going to be in a big field, and I want to show a picture of the aerial shot here so we can really see. All right, let's look. You see back there where that first one's at? Yeah, I mean that's crazy. And you're in a field doing it, you don't want to have to stop that close together to drop a bale. Even if you're square baling, you're still going to be close together like that. You may not, with a square baler, you don't have to stop. That's the good thing. You can keep going. And with that Cleveland round baler that wraps, you can do to keep going. But if you're an old school farmer like I am, and you like to use the old school round balers like that New Holland there is, pretty much, you don't want to have to stop that close together, because you're going to be in any size field, you're going to be baling a while with windrows this thick and bulky like the Chrome puts out. That's why I said use it, but set it on wide slough. That way it doesn't leave any windrow at all. It just lays it flat out, and then come back behind it with that windrow I showed you that you can hook a baler to, that modded one, and pick it, windrow it, and bale it at the same time. But as far as, in my opinion, as far as if you're going to bale, these two windrowers here, now there is a 4-shit one, but I don't think it's got all these different heads. You have to put a separate head on it to windrow. It doesn't drop as nice a windrow as either one of these two are. So, unless they've updated it. Anyway, they are depending on slot count, my choice would be between this one and that old school one. First choice would be the old school one because it's lowest slot count. Then if I had low enough slot count on the map I'm on, then I'll use this one. I'm hoping, hopefully they'll bring this one to FS22. You know, I hope that's not something that's just going to have to stay on 19. Surely they'll have it on FS22. Anyway, yeah. Unless they bring out a new baler that's got a bigger, and I mean, folks, let me show you. Talking about the balers, that one there's got a wide. It's one of the widest, and that's the end game, and it struggles. I've seen it. It'll skip and miss. That round one there that wraps the Kun one, yeah. Both of them, I've tried them. They do the same thing. The Kloss ones, let me look at yeah, they would struggle. They all have about the same width pickup on them. But the baler, and let's see, this square one right here might be the only one I know of that quite possibly would pick that wider sloth up. And you see, you need 200, almost 300 horsepower to run this sucker. Yet the round, let's see, yeah, 250. The round one has got a pretty, look at the wide, see how much wider it is than the baler itself. These two would do it without, if I remember correctly, I believe they do. They're the only two that I found that would come close to getting those windrows without, from the chrome. And it ain't because they're chrome too, but it's the windrows are the wide. Those are maybe the widest, and they're mods. They're in that straw harvest mod. If you don't have it downloaded, you need to have it. Of course, you know, I don't know if that's going to be part of FS22 or not. There's a lot of questions out there about that. FarmCon started today, so they go to their channel and watch that, their YouTube channel, Giants YouTube channel. You can watch that. They showed some stuff on seasons today, from my understanding. Tomorrow it's supposed to be the first in-game video that anybody's seen. They're supposed to show that tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, they'll be there through Sunday at FarmCon. But yeah, this has been insightful for me, and I'm sure it will be for anybody else, all of y'all that watch it. But until next time, this is Farm King saying so long.